Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie. At the end of the last episode, we unlocked World 3, Clanker's Cavern, and in this episode, we are going to head right in. Alright, so we are at World 3, and of course we have bottles popping up on the screen to let us know there is one new move to find this time, just one, so that has... that lets us know there's a little bit of a less exploration to find the moves, except this move in particular is hidden quite well, I must say. This one is actually hidden in a pretty kind of difficult spot to get to, but once we get there, I'm sure we will figure it out. But yeah, so as you can see, we are now in a nice little nasty, little gross sewage area. A bunch of pipes, a bunch of nastiness. So that's kind of nice to start things off with. We have the grill chompas enemies, as they're referred as, and I didn't mean to fall. That guy was just wrecking havoc on me, and I guess didn't want me to proceed across that pipe. But yeah, the grill chompas can get kind of annoying because they just kind of pop out at you out of nowhere through those little holes in the metal of whatever that is. They can get kind of annoying. They're pretty large enemies. They can cause a lot of damage, especially if they knock you off. But if you use Kazooie's beak attack while in midair, you can make pretty fine work of them. So, as you can see, we collected a few more golden feathers. We haven't really seen a lot of those yet. That's kind of hinting on what we might be able to do in this world. Hint, hint. The new ability might utilize the golden feathers. Hint, hint. But anyways, we want to go ahead and travel on these pipes because we have a little bit of collectibles here. We have some notes and a Jinjo here. That's kind of cool. He's just kind of... I love how they're just kind of hiding out. Like, they're waiting on us to save them, but they're just kind of hiding out in these, like, obvious spots where, like... I mean, the dude's a bird, right? Like, that's what Jinjos are. I guess they don't have wings from how they look, but couldn't he just, like, at least, like, walk... Like, oh, I mean, the dude was like how many feet from the entrance warp? Like, I don't know. I can't make sense of it. But if we swim through here, we will find... Oh my goodness. What is that thing? I am Clanker, witch's garbage grinder. Clanker not like dirty water, want fresh air. Alright, so I guess this guy is a garbage grinder in the shape of a shark with some nasty looking rotten teeth in his mouth. Man, this game really goes there. But yeah, so this is kind of the main central point of the world, hence the name Clanker's Cavern. This is Clanker. So what we want to do is, there's actually a lot for us to do here, but this is where we're going to find actually all of what we need to collect in this game. All the Jiggies are actually in this area. It's just a matter of kind of exploring underwater now. So it's kind of our main, kind of the main function of this world is we're going to be, of course, doing a lot of underwater gameplay and underwater exploration. Of course, you have an air meter. So you want to make sure you don't run out of air. We have 6 little slots of air. So of course, once we get to the, as you can see, I'm only down to 2 now. Once you run out of all 6, you will be that will be an instant death, and you will have to restart from the beginning of the level. So that's not really fun. So we don't want to do that. I don't think we can jump up here yet. There is a way that we can actually raise the water level, but for now we are going to focus on a few other things first before we can actually do that. First things first, we're going to actually swim down here because what we want to start with is these little entrances underwater. So we want to actually swim into these little crevices, these entrances, and these will take us to various areas where we can actually start collecting some of our first Jiggies and some of our other collectibles that we will find in this level. As you can see, there was one right there just sitting in the just sitting there waiting for us to grab it. I don't know how those things rotate underwater like that, but now we're gonna head right back into the main central area again. And as you can see, we have some notes kind of floating up there very magically. Again, I don't know how notes do that. I'm not even sure how notes really, you know, come off of the pages of the musical sheets, but they are able to do that in this game, so why not have them float in the air? It makes sense to me. But now we're going to go ahead and swim into this green area, and we will find something else to explore. What do we have here? Alright, looks like we have some nice mutated crabs. These guys are definitely mutants. They have some pretty bulgy looking eyes. Snippet and mutants are we. Jigsaw is ours. Fight us you must. All right. So yeah, this part's pretty straightforward. Just want to take these guys out. Yeah, we don't want to let them touch us because they will do, of course, a lot of damage. They have some pretty big claws too. I can see they have a little claw and a big claw, so they're definitely mutated. But once we take them out, we will win our prize, which is a Jiggy. And that'll be Jiggy number 2. So we are off to quite a great start. I think this is like a generator or something in here. Like, I'm not quite sure what this is used for. This is like a sewage area. Grunty's grinder, garbage grinder is in the middle. So I'm not sure if this is like a power source for him to... Like, and that's the thing. Like, if he's a garbage grinder, does he need to be like, does he run off of power? Like, is this the power generator that allows him to be alive, essentially? Like, I'm not sure how that works, but there's a nice big beam of light shooting out of it. So that's kind of fun. But now we're going to go ahead and take a look at this actually from the side view. I don't think I've ever done that before. But we're pretty much done in this room. So we'll go ahead and head back out to the main area once again. But yeah, I have to say, I think for the most part, and most people that play this game, this is probably one of the... I guess the not so favorite world of the game. I think a lot of people dislike this, maybe because of the fact that you're traveling most of the time underwater and you have to kind of be careful of your air meter, which I don't think is a big deal. I think, you know, the game does have an air meter like most 3D platformers where you're kind of having to kind of be cautious on how long you're underwater. I don't know, for me, I kind of like it as a challenge where it makes it feel like you kind of have to, you know, maneuver pretty precisely underwater. That way you kind of are traveling pretty quick without running out of air. I don't know, to me it's a nice little challenge. I like underwater platforming when it's done well, and I think this game does do underwater platforming well. And I have to say, I'm someone who is definitely not a fan. Look at that view, I mean, we're pretty high up. But I'm definitely not a fan of underwater platforming for the most part. Man, that guy is just taking a bite out of us. He's just having himself some bear for dinner here. But yeah, I'm not really I'm not a fan of underwater platforming in general at all. But in this game, I kind of find it to be pretty fun and interesting. Especially when they introduce some pretty, you know, kind of cool looking characters like Clanker. He's pretty intimidating at first, but once we kind of get through the level, you kind of see the guy is he's just kind of like, you know, he's kind of in pain. Like, he kind of is suffering a little bit, and we just kind of have to help him a little bit. But now we want to travel over to this area. Enough of me rambling on about this level. There's actually a mumble token just kind of sitting out here in this little area. Not really much left to do there. But yeah, for the most part, we're just kind of traveling around in these little different little tunnels underwater. And they do give you a, I believe there's a fish that gives you some bubbles here in a little bit. You'll kind of see what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think the way they manage the underwater exploration in this world is pretty nice. And there's a Jinjo right there, so that's kind of cool. I wonder how he's breathing underwater for that long. Like, it makes you think, like, how long was this guy in there? And how is he able to survive that long? And like, I don't know, like the logic sometimes in this game can be a little bit weird, but it's fine. I still love the game. But anyways, if we go down here, I can see there's a big chain connected to Clanker. So we actually want to drop down here, and we'll find some more notes. So this part can get a little bit tricky if you're not familiar with this part. Hi, I'm Gloop. Grab my bubbles if you're low on air. So Gloop is going to allow you to have more opportunities to basically survive underwater without running out of air. This is probably the deepest part of the world, or of the area, so you want to make sure that you do not run out of air here. But what we want to do is actually swim through that little chain link 3 different times, and it doesn't matter what side you swim through it, as long as you don't run out of air and you do it before, or you do it, you know, 3 times in a row. So basically we just want to do it a 3rd time. We're getting kind of close to running out of air there, but we did successfully do that. I think that's a key that's actually in the chain link there, and that's actually going to allow Clanker to rise. As you can see, those notes are now accessible. They weren't before. Clanker has fresh air. You find reward on Clanker's back. All right, so Clanker is helping us out since we helped him out in return. That's just kind of the nice guy that he is. But yeah, I mean, this guy's nice. Like, he's intimidating when you first come up upon him because he's gigantic. He's like this gigantic metal shark looking thing, but the dude's just a sweetheart. Like, the dude is just trying to live his life. We helped him out. He returned the favor. I like this guy. Like, he's probably one of my favorite characters in the whole game, and I'm not even kidding about that. But yeah, I have to say this area down here, again, they give you, a lot of bubbles to, again, allow you to breathe underwater. So I like the fact that they kind of made it a little bit challenging. Again, it can be tricky if you're not skilled with the water, like the swimming function, and you're not really a good swimmer in this game. I will say that. And there's also a ginger just hiding out under here. How did he get down here? Like the one that was in the little tunnel, like I can understand maybe he got lost and like he just kind of hid in the tunnel. You know, he's still underwater. I don't know how he's able to breathe, but this guy is way down here. Like, how did he get down here? Like, how did he survive so long? I just have so many questions. But now that we're done here, I just want to make sure we got all the notes. We want to make sure, actually I'm gonna have to grab another bubble because I'm not sure I'm gonna have enough air to get out of here. So the other challenge to this part, and I hope I don't run out of air, is you actually need to make sure you have enough air to get out of here, because this is, as you can see, we swam down pretty deep, so it is quite a long swim back up. So again, just kind of timing your swim, and making sure that you are able to get out of there in a reasonable amount of time without running out of air is, I think, is a nice challenge. But we're gonna go ahead and rise back up to the surface, and we are now able to climb upon Clanker, since he has risen a little bit out of the water. A little nasty garbage water. Doesn't even look, that water does not look good at all. Like, that's straight up pollution. I don't care what anybody says, that's pollution right there. But now we have, looks like a Jiggy that is now reachable on top of Clanker for helping him, because he's just that nice of a guy. Clanker's teeth hurt now. Eat too much garbage. Help Clanker. Alright, so yes, so as Clanker has let us know, we do need to do something with his teeth. But first, we want to actually climb at the, up at the tippy top of his tail. Jump up here where these feathers are. And as you see, there's a Jiggy trapped in a little cage. So typically, I think your first instinct would be to hit a switch or something. But what you actually want to do is just shoot your eggs at the little gate. And that'll actually open the gate, allowing you to get to the Jiggy. I gotta say, when I first played this game as a kid, I had no idea how to open that. I don't think it's obvious you're supposed to shoot the eggs at it. Just my personal opinion, but I don't think most people's instincts would be to do that. So I think that's kind of something that was kind of clever, I think, that they kind of hid in the game, where it's like, hey, here's a Jiggy trap behind a gate. You know, you clearly have to like look for a switch or something. No. You just have to shoot the eggs. Because of course, eggs are strong enough to break open a gate. So, you know, come on, who wouldn't figure that out? But anyways, we are going to go ahead and continue on, and we're going to travel across Clanker again. We're actually going to use his left little flipper fin thing, whatever you want to call it, big metal fin, to travel over here, kill this grill chompa, and we're going to utilize the shock spring jump to jump up here. There's actually two areas we can get to now. You jump on this pipe, you grab on this pole. We have some more notes and collectibles up here this way, and we have a little bit more high up platforming. So we'll find a mumble token on that side. There's actually a pipe on the other side we need to jump to as well. So that's something I like as well, as they give you a nice little you're basically just traveling, you know, platforming along a bunch of pipes and stuff in this little area. So that's kind of nice. So not only do you get to do some underwater exploration, but you get to do some stuff up here as well. And you get quite, you know, you can get up a little bit high, so it's kind of nice to see like the whole area from up here. And I didn't mean to jump off. That was a mistake. I didn't even really want to dive underwater either. What am I doing? I'm acting crazy, man. I'm crazy. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump back up on the flipper, or the fin. Shock spring jump up here. We're gonna try this again without falling off this time. So what we're gonna do is actually travel down here to gather some more notes. I mean, as you can see, we have some more gates on top of these pipes. So what we're gonna do is just ground pound. And you will find a Jinjo in that one. And if we go over to this one, we can break this one as well. And we will find an extra honeycomb right there. So that's one of 2 extra honeycombs already found. Of course, we have one more still. We have a bunch of notes left and a bunch of jiggies. We're going to go ahead and focus on getting those now. So now that we have freed Clanker from that chain, we can now help him out with his little teeth problem. So the dude's got a couple cavities. So what we want to do is aim at this nice little shiny gold tooth right here that's very cavity filled with the eggs. That'll break it open. That had to hurt. I know he's saying his teeth aren't hurting now, but I feel like that had to hurt. But anyways, we'll find a mumbo token inside because that'll allow us to actually travel inside of Clanker. As you can see, we can find all his little insides, and that's kind of gross. I don't know, it's just kind of gross, like we're traveling inside the dude. But anyways, we have another golden tooth right here. We want to break this open with eggs. If we can get him out of the water enough. And there we go. We didn't really hit it, but that counted anyway, so I'll take it. And apparently the toothache on that side is now gone. He swallowed the reward. Teeth are all better now. Thank you, bear. So yeah, he's just kind of thanking us. But now we want to travel into this little gap, tooth gap, kind of gross. We will find a jiggy inside, so that's kind of nice. We get a jiggy for kind of, I guess, temporarily acting as a dentist in this little area for Clanker. But now we get to explore inside of Clanker, as weird as that sounds. So this is kind of reminiscent of Ocarina of Time when you're traveling inside of the, I think it's like the Jabu Jabu. So they kind of reminds me of that a little bit, but I like the fact that you're able to do this nonetheless. It's just a nice little unique idea, because you're thinking you have all this area around Clanker and all these little tunnels to go through, and there's so many things you can find, but yet most of the collectibles are actually found inside of Clanker. So we're literally traveling inside a big mechanical shark guy. So I love this. But now we have some rings. So we actually need to do a little bit of a little puzzle here. So what we want to do is actually jump through the green ring, and that'll activate the next green ring. And you basically just want to follow these things until you go through all the green rings. You don't want to swim through them when they're blue, because that's not what you're supposed to do. The green, the ones that turn green are basically indicating that that's the one you want to jump through or swim through. So nice little acrobatic practice here for us. This part can be kind of challenging because they give you, I guess, enough time, but if you mess up on any of the jumps at all, I think you're pretty much screwed. So you want to be very precise on how you jump through or swim through the rings, and they will grow smaller each time you get towards the end. And as you can see, we finally swim through the final ring, and that'll reveal a Jiggy right there on Clanker's. I'm not really sure what that is. I mean, this is like his insides, right? So we're kind of swimming around like his guts and his fish organs and mechanical shark organs. I don't want to think about it too much. It's kind of gross. But anyways, collect some more golden feathers because we're actually going to be able to utilize these coming up very soon. Now we're kind of swimming inside of the big mechanical shark Clanker. We're going to see if we can grab this Jiggy. I don't think we can actually reach that. We're going to need another way to get up there. And interesting enough, the guy has like boxes or crates inside of his stuff. Like this guy, what has he been eating? And what are these things that are like what are these things? Like what's going on here? Is this like a parasitic infection? Like I don't know what to say about this. As you see, we have a fly pad up there. We can't quite reach that. But if we go down here, we will find some more collectibles. Because the guy, I guess he has, I mean, eggs make sense. Like eggs are a very nutritious part of your meal. But no musical notes and like, I mean, crates. I mean, what's this guy eating really? Like, what is his diet? Like, does he just eat anything in sight? Anything that looks good? Like, I kind of want to know some answers there. But anyways, what we can now do, as well as going through his mouth, we can actually travel on top of him. You can actually go inside of his gills. So once these open up, we can actually enter Clanker from another side from his gills. Do a little swimming down here, and we will actually find a Jinjo, which again, I'm not sure how it has survived down here for so long. That is the last Jinjo, so we received a Jiggy for that one. We're a little bit more than halfway done, so I you know, gotta say it. We were doing pretty good for traveling in a mechanical shark guy. Kind of gross, kind of nasty, but we're making some headway nonetheless. And that'll give us some more notes, and that'll just send us back into the main area again of Clanker's belly. We want to actually swim back outside. And now what we want to do is actually travel on top of Clanker, because there's actually another entranceway that we can enter inside of him, this time in the big little spout area on top of his head. So I guess there's like a screw that basically releases, and we have a grunty switch here. And that'll activate another hidden Jiggy that we can collect once we go back into the main hub world. As you can see, there's a bunch of little dangerous propeller things. We don't want to travel through those because we simply will get hurt. Alright, so actually going back on top of Clanker, I actually kind of messed up a little bit. What we want to do is actually, I did forget to do this. You actually want to wait until that screw is in the little spout hole there. And you want to actually jump on it before it jumps up, and that'll ascend you up there. Even though I fell. Try that again. But yes, we have some more platforms up here, and it looks like, yet again, another Jiggy. So it's kind of nice that they kind of hide this one a little pretty creatively. You have to remember to kind of jump on that screw when it ascends out of Clanker's spout hole. That'll give us Jiggy number 7, so there's only 3 more left to find. I love how they put this little narrow, like the skinniest, most narrow pipe platform on the very highest point of the level. Alright, so traveling back inside of Clanker's belly. I am actually feeling kind of foolish because I did not realize you can actually reach that feather pad from right here at this level. For some reason I was thinking I had to do something to raise the water level in here, but that's not the case because look. Ha, silly me, I didn't know I could just jump right up here. So yeah, you can jump right up there, get the fly pad, and that'll allow you to reach a couple different areas. So first we'll grab that Jiggy that was waiting there for so long. We'll collect that. And now there's only 2 more left to find. And as you know, we still have a move to learn here from Bottles. We need to find Bottles Molehill. And it's actually located inside of Clanker here. So we do need to travel over to another section of Clanker to reach the Molehill. So what we want to do is actually jump back up on the flight pad. Give us some a little bit more mobility in the air. And now we want to travel above where the Jiggy was, up in this little tunnel with the golden feather hanging out on it. And we will go right in here. As you can see, we have more dangerous little propeller things, but look here, we have Bottles. This move uses Biko's wings as a shield against the bad guys. Cool. Does it make me invulnerable? Sure does. Hold the right or left trigger and push the right stick. Right. Keep the right or left trigger held and use the left stick to move around. So basically we are given an invincibility move. So basically we are on, I guess, a little bit of a timer. You can only collect up to 10 gold feathers, and I wish they let you collect like 20 or at least a little bit more than 10, because the number of golden feathers you have is going to allow you to basically stay invincible for that period of time. So you essentially have about 10 seconds of invincibility. So if you do what Bottles says, we will now be able to travel right through these dangerous propellers, and we will not take any damage at all. That'll allow us to get this Jiggy, replenish our golden feathers, so we can get right back over to the other side again. Very nice. You see there's nothing else in that little crevice, so we'll go ahead and travel back using the invincibility move. I gotta say, I love this move. I just wish they allowed you to collect more than 10 gold feathers at a time. I feel like that's kind of limited. And I just don't like being limited, especially when you're using a move like that. That takes a lot. Alright, so traveling back outside on top of Clanker. Now that we have the invincibility move, we're going to go ahead and actually travel back in his little spout hole. And we are on this side with the propellers, but now that we have the invincibility, we can travel right through here, collecting the rest of our notes and the final Jiggy. Simple as that. And that'll be the last Jiggy of the world, and we are about done here. Alright, so going back out into the main central area outside of Clanker's belly, we have one more collectible to find, and it is the last extra honeycomb piece. What you want to do is actually swim over this way, and this one can be a little bit tricky if you're not familiar with where to go, because this one's actually not very obvious at all. So what you actually want to do is swim underneath these pipes. And as you can see, there's a little entranceway in this one. And if you swim in the right spot, let me see here, right there, there's another empty honeycomb. And now that we have 6 of them in total, that'll gain us another slot on our life meter. So very nice. We have another honeycomb attached to our life meter. So now we are done here, so we are going to head back to the entrance portal. So that way we can go back to Gruntilda's lair, unlock the next level, and you kind of get the idea. But yeah, I gotta say, this level I think is very underrated. Definitely not my favorite of the game, but it definitely has its perks. I think it's very much underrated. I think people forget to kind of focus on the positives of the level versus just how it is pretty nasty looking area. There's really not, I mean, a lot of the levels we explore apart from this one are very colorful, full of life. This one's pretty dark, dreary, you know, very gloomy, depressing, gross. And maybe that's part of it, but I love the underwater mechanic they utilize in this level, and I love the fact that you do a lot of underwater exploration and the fact that you get to travel inside of a mechanical fish. Like, that's just cool. But anyways, we will now go out here. I don't care that my gamer profile is offline, alright? I just don't care. Alright, so now we are back outside the entrance of Clanker's Cavern. We are actually going to use that platform that we hit the switch for earlier on before we entered the world, and we had Bruntilda hanging out here. Man, what a interesting place to hang out. I feel like Bruntilda would not want to be anywhere near this area, but apparently she's just hanging out here to give us some more little secrets of Grunty. But as you can see, we have another switch up here. So if we hit this, that'll open the grate to another tunnel. Alright, so actually leaving the area where Clanker's Cavern is, we actually want to remember to come back out here because that Grunty switch that we hit in Clanker's Cavern popped out these eyes. So if we ground pound these, we get another Jiggy. And this is number, I believe, number 4 of Gruntilda's lair. Yep. So another Jiggy down in Gruntilda's lair. So we'll go right back up to where we were. And now what we want to do is actually go right back up to the... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. We'll go back into that area, that tunnel that we opened with that switch. Because we have another puzzle in that area as well. So that'll actually unlock the next level of the game. We want to avoid Shrapnel there, because he will explode on us, and that'll be something that we definitely don't want to do. But if we travel through here... As you can see, things are a little bit more green in this area. So that's kind of giving us a hint on what the next world's going to look like. And we have another puzzle. And of course, we have collected several more Jiggies. So we will be able to open up the next world, which is Bubble Gloop Swamp. And that is the entrance to Bubble Gloop Swamp right there. So we still need to locate that. So let's go ahead and do just that. We want to actually exit this area. And we actually have another note door that we can actually break open. That, of course, Grunty has a spell on. But since we have gathered now hundreds of notes, we should have enough to open up the next note door. Let's go ahead and travel out there. Alright, so in the next episode, we are going to go ahead and open up this note door, and we will explore more of Gruntilda's lair and eventually reach the next world, Bubble Gloop Swamp. So until then, I will see you all later. Grunty, knock it off.